Hello and welcome back to another video. Before we start, we would like to thank you for your support. Our goal is to make psychology and mental health more accessible to everyone, and you help us do that. So thanks again. Now let's begin. Sigmund Freud, the man considered to be the father of psychoanalysis, was a 19th and 20th century neurologist who studied how the human mind works. He is most famous for his theory of psychosexual development and his ideas about dreams. However, his theories go much deeper than that, and they can help us understand ourselves better. One thing that makes Freud's theories stand out is that he believed that a lot of what drives human behavior is hidden outside of our conscious awareness. This idea is the basis of his theory of the unconscious mind. Freud thought that this unconscious part of our minds could influence how we think, feel, and behave in ways that we don't even know about. He also came up with the Oedipus complex and the psychosexual stages of development, which were very controversial when he first proposed them, but are now widely accepted ideas in psychology. So why should you care about these theories today? Well, it turns out that they have a lot to say about the relationships we form with other people, including those with our partners, parents, siblings, and friends. In fact, understanding Freudian principles can help us gain insight into some of the reasons why we act the way we do in relationships. Let's dive deeper into it. The importance of early childhood experiences. Freud believed that our experiences in early childhood have a big impact on how we develop psychologically and emotionally. He thought that the way we relate to our parents, especially our mothers, during the first few years of life has a lasting effect on our personalities and relationships later on. According to Freud, children go through different psychosexual stages as they grow, each with its own challenges. If a child doesn't successfully complete one of these stages, they may become stuck there and develop problems in their adult relationships. For example, in the oral stage, which happens in the first 18 months of life, the child's main focus is on pleasure from the mouth, like from sucking or biting. If this stage doesn't get resolved properly, the person might become overly dependent on others or even develop bad habits like smoking or overeating as adults. Similarly, if the anal stage, which takes place between 18 months and 3 years old and involves control over bowel movements, is not successfully completed, the person may struggle with orderliness and self-control issues later on. And if the phallic stage, which occurs around age 3 to 6 and involves self-gratification through genitals, is not resolved properly, the person might have trouble forming intimate relationships as an adult. According to Freud, our relationships with our parents can also affect us in more complicated ways. His theory of the Oedipus complex explains how a young boy's feelings towards his mother and father can shape his personality and relationships later in life. The Oedipus complex happens during the phallic stage, when the child develops sexual feelings for his mother and sees his father as a rival. According to Freud, the boy eventually resolves this conflict by rejecting his sexual desires for his mother and identifying with his father. This process helps him become more independent and develop a strong ego. However, if this process doesn't happen successfully, the person may develop psychological problems in adulthood, such as having trouble forming close relationships or being overly dependent on others. Now, while this theory is widely debated, it does point to the importance of early childhood experiences and family relationships in shaping our adult personalities and romantic choices. Unconscious conflicts and their effects on relationships. Freud believed that our unconscious thoughts, feelings, and memories can affect how we act in relationships without us even knowing it. For instance, let's say you get angry at your partner for forgetting to take out the trash, but you find yourself getting upset over small things all the time. According to Freud, this anger may actually be coming from something else that happened in your past that you were not consciously aware of. Maybe your parent used to get mad at you for little things when you were a kid. Your unconscious mind could be connecting these two situations, making you react strongly even when the situation isn't really that serious. Similarly, you might find yourself attracted to a certain type of person because they remind you of someone from your past, like a parent or a sibling. This attraction could be based on unconscious feelings that you have towards that person from your past. For example, if you had a good relationship with your mother, you might unconsciously look for those same qualities in a partner. Or if you felt neglected by your father, you might subconsciously seek out partners who give you the attention you never got when you were younger. Defense mechanisms in relationships. According to Freud, we all use defense mechanisms to protect ourselves from anxiety and emotional pain. These are unconscious strategies that our minds use to reduce discomfort and help us feel more secure. But sometimes these defense mechanisms can cause problems in our relationships. For example, let's say you're feeling stressed about work, and you take it out on your partner by yelling at them or being really sarcastic. Your partner might feel hurt and confused because they don't know why you're acting that way. They might try to talk to you about it, but you might not be able to explain why you're behaving this way because it's being driven by unconscious feelings and unresolved conflicts. This can lead to miscommunication and make it hard for you both to understand each other. Another example is if you have a tendency to blame others for your mistakes, whether it's at work or in your personal life. You might not even realize that you're doing it. But when it happens in your relationship, your partner might feel frustrated and upset because they do want to understand why you and take responsibility for your actions. This can make it hard for you to work together as a team and solve problems in a healthy way. So according to Freudian ideas, It's important to be aware of the defense mechanisms that you might be using in your relationships. By understanding them, you can find better ways to manage your emotions and communicate with others. This can help you build stronger connections with the people in your life and create more positive experiences for everyone involved. Importance of understanding your unconscious mind. Freud believed that understanding our unconscious thoughts, feelings, and motivations is key to understanding ourselves and our relationships better. He thought that by exploring our unconscious, we can gain insight into why we act the way we do, why we feel certain emotions, and why we choose certain people to be in relationships with. By exploring our unconscious mind, we can uncover hidden conflicts and understand how they're affecting our relationships. We can also learn about the defense mechanisms we use and how they might be causing problems in our relationships. This understanding can help us communicate better with our partners and other people in our lives. We can also learn to manage our emotions in a healthier way and build stronger, more meaningful relationships. While Freud's theories have been criticized for being too focused on sex and for not having much scientific support, they did change the way we think about the mind and our relationships. They helped pave the way for new ideas in research and psychology and showed us that there is a lot more to human behavior than what meets the eye. So next time you find yourself struggling in a relationship, it might be helpful to think about what's going on in your unconscious mind. There could be hidden conflicts or feelings that are causing problems, and understanding them could be the first step towards building a stronger, healthier relationship. Remember, you are not your mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, and it doesn't define who you are. So do you want to be afraid to explore your unconscious mind and work towards creating the kind of relationships you want to have? Did you find this video helpful? What are some other ways that Freud's theories have affected our understanding of relationships? Let us know in the comments below. Please like and share this video if you think it will help someone else. The references and studies used in this video are added in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and see you soon.